Well, peace, 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 fam. How y'all doing? Happy Moon Day. Monday is Moon Day. Hope all is well with everyone. This is Oracle Deborah with the Oracle Deborah podcast on YouTube. Yeah, I just took a pause there. I'm not even really sure why I did. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you to those of you who've been coming on the channel and checking out my videos and even commenting. So, my gratitude to you for that. I just realized that the KRS video that I shared had no sound. I'm not really sure why. I don't know why. So that's another little glitch I need to figure out. Um, this generally what us solopreneurs do. We stop. I'm so talented in so many different areas. Um, I know I sound like a Jill of all trades and a master of none, but I've actually mastered several. I just can't master everything. I don't want to, but I definitely have knowledge in terms of a lot of things. So yeah, I will check out that technical issue, and what I will do is I will get that video, which I did save, and I will share a link in the comment. Uh, I'm not sure what episode that is, but yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so anyway, it does help if you play back as opposed to publish first. And I'm not editing right now in any way. There's no need for me to edit yet. But we will get to the editing stage. But first I need to work out the glitches and get myself up to speed with technology again and how YouTube works and all this other good stuff. So thank you again for your patience. I started out with a sound issue, and that's because my dinosaur laptop just didn't have great sound. So I've been recording on the new laptop, and the sound is great. Now I just need to figure out why this video did not have sound. So anyway, we'll figure that out. Today was quite a uh, busy day of sorts. My mind was distracted quite a bit. Unfortunately, Saturn, I've been talking a lot about Pluto, and totally forgetting that Saturn, I am in yet another Saturn return. I've had probably four by now. Um, because Saturn will transit Capricorn, usually at 29, 30 years old. And then he transited again, I think in 2007, he transited, or Saturn transited Capricorn. So it was two. And now Saturn is transiting Pisces. And yeah, Saturn is in Pisces in my natal chart. So this is yet another Saturn return, sitting in my fourth house. And um, I did some more digging because I couldn't figure out what the deal is with all these car accidents. And what you may not know is that I was unfortunately in yet another car accident yesterday. I have never been in car accidents back to back to back like this, except for uh, at about 30 years ago when Saturn was in Capricorn, when I was in a Saturn return phase. I mean, I didn't know anything about astrology, like literally nothing, other than I was a Capricorn. I knew nothing else about astrology and was told to stay away from it because it was wicked, literally. Um, but when I traced it back, I remember just everywhere I went in my car, people were hitting me left and right. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. Sometimes I was just sitting, in traffic, standing still, and someone would come behind me, boop, and hit me. And so I'll never forget that one particular 1 or 2 year cycle where I was in a total of like three accidents, and I had never been in an accident before. And then after that, I thought it was just a state. Was living in a different state at that time, so I just thought it was that state, those drivers, things like that. No, it's every time Saturn, that's the pattern I picked up. Saturn, you know, I have a Saturn return basically. And so, which brings me to this point with Pluto, right? Because I could not understand why Pluto in Capricorn was doing this thing. And then Pluto transits into Aquarius at the beginning of this year. And like, why did I get into an accident? Well, I couldn't figure that out. And I kept saying must be because it's third house. And third house is short distance travel. But what I found out found out last night or earlier today is that the fourth house represents cars, vehicles, and the sixth house you can pretty much identify accidents in the sixth house and or the eighth house. And I had some things translating my eighth house as well, but definitely Saturn is sitting in Pisces right now, which is my natal placement, Saturn and Pisces. You've got to be kidding me. And it's, well, the slightly good news is that it's not Pluto, it's in Aquarius. So it won't be sitting here for the next 20 years because I thought, oh my God, like, what am I supposed to do? But it's still sitting there for the next 2 years. And that's still rough. It's going to be another probably, let's see, 12, 13, probably another 15, 16 months. And that's still long enough. So Saturn is sneaky. Saturn is sneaky because, all this time all the focus is on Pluto. Saturn's a bit of a narcissist. These are my interpretations, folks. Saturn is a bit of a narcissist because Saturn sits back and lets everybody, blame Pluto for everything. When in fact, it's sitting back, wreaking all kinds of havoc in your chart, in your life. I mean, seriously, that is a classic narcissist move. And, I remember this happening before, and I was like, oh, I totally forgot about Saturn. And I was like, well, Saturn's not going to be forgotten. It's always going to make its presence known. And it does. Oh, it sure does. But it also sits back and is okay with Pluto taking all the blame for stuff when it's really Saturn. Saturn doing some things. Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn and Aquarius, by the way. If we're going to be more specific about this, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus. Uranus is the planet of, it's the erratic planet. Expect the unexpected is what I call it, because you never know what you're going to get with Uranus. And so you got, Saturn is part of its ruling planet or as a co-ruling planet. And Saturn also rules Capricorn. And Capricorn this is quite interesting. Saturn co-rules Aquarius and Capricorn, okay? However, Aquarius, the tarot card representing Aquarius is the star card, healing card, right? Whereas for Capricorn, the tarot card representing Capricorn is the devil, which is pretty much how I see Saturn. I'm sorry, not sorry. That's just how I see it, okay? Saturn's sitting back and having me in all kinds of accidents when I'm not really doing anything wrong is pissing me the hell off. You understand what I'm saying? So I see Saturn more as the devil. It is a malefic planet. It is malefic, as is Pluto. I think I don't know that they're in competition. Like I've always said with Pluto, Pluto does what it does. And they will zero in on this one thing about you that you do, and we'll just lock in on that. And it's up to us to figure out what we need to do to overcome that thing and take back our power in a sense. Saturn, at least I feel like Pluto gives you, even though it does what it does, there is a there is what I call it, an opportunity for you to figure something out and to take back your power and, you know, back Pluto off. Saturn, I don't see that. I see Saturn coming in and doing what it wants to do with you, which is very devilish, if you ask me. You know, I'm going to restrict you. I'm going to prevent you from doing this. I'm going to slow things down. You know, I will create car accidents for you if you don't have this thing or you have this little thing I want you to change. Like it's very controlling. And I remember a woman on Clubhouse. She had a very calm voice and she was hosting, this Clubhouse room and, as the, astrologer. And I asked her before when I first started getting to understand or to research astrology, I asked her about Saturn when I first learned about Saturn and what was going on in my chart. And um, and she had this really loving explanation. Saturn is like, she said, she gave this analogy. Let's say you have a car and, and, you know, and then there's a road. But what Saturn does in this scenario is Saturn says, you can have this car, right? And it's interesting that she used car as an analogy because the fourth house rules cars, and just so happens that Saturn is in my fourth house right now. Anyway, and it's also in my natal chart. But anyway, and she says, but your Saturn's like you're restricted from driving in a forest or driving up a mountain, you know, or driving in some other, rough terrain cars because that would tear up your tires. So Saturn restricts you to just driving on a smooth road, a paved road, right? Where you can drive smoothly and you can drive a little quicker, a little slower, but you get to use this car, use this vehicle, in a very efficient way and in an enjoyable way, right? Because you figure out if you're taking a ride, you don't want to be, like I can't drive through a forest in a car, right? So that's how she described Saturn, uh, which in the most extreme loving sense, yes, I see that. But what Saturn, that's not how Saturn comes off when we have a Saturn return. If it was that loving, um, people wouldn't be so up in arms about Saturn. If it was that clear, where the understanding, overstanding was that clear, uh, people wouldn't be feeling like, ugh, I'm going through a Saturn return and dreading it, if you will. There's a reason people dread a Saturn return, okay? Because brutal. It is. It's just absolutely brutal. And it seems like, okay, yeah, I'm good. Or even most people are really open to doing things more efficiently or, making some tweaks in their life and their behaviors and things like that and moving forward. Because, essentially, oh, I'm sorry. Another thing she said was when you do the work, when you do what Saturn wants you to do, he gives you rewards. Saturn gives you rewards. I don't see the rewards. I don't see that. I see more rewards with Pluto than I do with Saturn, than on a Saturn return. What I see is Saturn comes in ever so quietly and ransacks your life, right? And then when you question it, you're like, well, that's Saturn. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't like that. I mean, I don't mean to sound like a petulant child, but no, who wants that? You know? So yeah, I feel like Saturn is a narcissist. It does act like the devil for sure. And why what benefit would it be to excuse me, create perpetual excuse me, accidents for a person as if that's, you're basically putting their life at risk and almost killing them. So so to me, that's more of a death thing. You know what I mean? People hear Pluto, they say, oh, Pluto's a planet of death, you know? Um, yeah. However, it causes death, but it was interesting with Pluto because it was creating this slow death. So it's like you could, like, I'll give you an example for the second house or in the money house or something like that, or a transit through your eighth house, whatever, right? So, but we're talking funds. Like you will see your income diminish, and then you'll make some, and then you'll see it more diminish, and then you know you have time. You're able to figure out, okay, well, this isn't working. Let me do this. Whereas Saturn just comes in and just knocks you out. It's like a total TKO. And I don't know. So that's my analogy of Saturn. I'm pretty sure those astrologers who have 20 plus years of, just steady research of astrology have other analogies of it. But I think we all have our own valid analogies of astrology and how the planets operate and work. Don't have to write a book to do that. You just have to live it, as far as I'm concerned. You live it, you can tell a story, and your story is valid. So, yeah, that's where I see it. Now, on to something a little more upbeat and positive. This is a holiday weekend for many of you, or many of us, however you want to, if you celebrate the holiday or not. um, is your choice. I'm absolutely, I have no opinions on, or judgments. This is a no judgment, if, I shouldn't say no judgment. I should say, in this case, there is no judgment I'm placing on you. Okay. Thanksgiving does have a nasty history in terms of the foundational Black American community. So that's why I say, I absolutely understand if this is not a message for you, but some people, because of family, because of friends, because they get to see, the bulk of their family at this time, will participate in some way, shape, form, or fashion with the holiday because they are giving thanks for the love that they have for their family and, the fond memories they have with maybe old friends or neighborhood friends or schoolmates or things like that. So, this is absolutely a time if you have an opportunity to spend time with your family, do it. Do it. Absolutely. Please. Because there's nothing like, and I'm not saying, for many years people like, oh, you get together as family, there's always these fights, da 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 da. Like you make your decision, decide what you want to do. But if all I'm saying is don't not or don't avoid family if that's what you really want to do, you know? And I think this is a good time, honestly, to be around family because, there's so many negative voices out here in media that's telling people to stay away from their families. Don't listen to them. Be around your family, set parameters. Set some guidelines and some boundaries. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to have this dinner, but there will be no politics. There will be no this. We won't have this. We'll hold off, and then y'all could discuss that. You can get in the car and take a ride and do something and discuss it then. But depending, whoever can call the shot in that way, but or make a collective agreement. That's even better. Make a collective agreement. We won't have this conversation about these things, whatever. But definitely spend time with your family. We just never know what tomorrow brings. Okay. And some people actually, this is a painful time for them because they no longer have their loved ones with them. So this is also a painful time for many people. Um, so my heart goes out to you, to those folks in terms of that as well. I love this time of year, this whole uh November, even like Halloween is fun for the children or whatever. But again, all I'm saying is this is a time where people can just stop and pause and celebrate and, cheat on their cheat on their diets, and then run to the gym afterwards, kind of thing. But this is a great time, if you can spend time with your family. Sometimes people do need time to be alone. They just want this time where they don't want the extra engagement based on whatever's going on in their life. And that is completely understandable as well. If it were me, this year, I probably would be absolutely okay just ordering and I just need to uh I just need to rest. But that's a slippery slope too. Because I know me, I can go into my own little world and be completely happy. It's a slippery slope, you know, for me. So I have to be mindful that I have to stay in the game, if you will, because I have things in my chart that I can absolutely go up in the ether and stay there and be perfectly happy, you know, at least for a time. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a while people are like, "You don't miss not going home, or you don't miss out." No, I'm good. You know, I think what was more painful was people constantly asking, "Well, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Well, what are you doing for Christmas? And where are you going to go? And how is it like?" I just got so sick of those trite questions every year. You know, it just, yeah, yeah, it just, and even when I was with my family growing up, it wasn't all that hoopla. My mother was very traditional. She cooked. She was I call her the cooking goddess. So she cooked. She prepared all these presents. She got a lot of joy out of these things because she did not have it when she was growing up. Um, but it was quite traditional. I mean, after you do all of that, there is no time for entertainment. She's like, entertain yourselves. I bought you a bunch of toys and things. So, and you have each other's. Entertain yourself, be creative, do your thing, She was like, I got this part. Now, do what you need to do to entertain yourselves, kind of thing. Whereas, different families are different. They have these different types of celebrations over the course of a week and things like that. And I appreciate all of that. I really do. So, um, yeah. So enjoy. If you have time off this week, enjoy that. But please be careful on the road. I cannot stress this enough. People are out of town, and you may be one of those persons that's out of town. And just be mindful that the driving patterns are going to be different, slightly different from what you're used to. So just slow down a bit, look 2 or 3 times, maybe extra. Be mindful of people might be drinking during this time and on the road, they still do that. So yeah, I just want all of us to be safe. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in a little pain, you know, uh, and I'm distracted and I still have things to do. Life doesn't stop because, you had some misfortunate thing happen. But yeah, so do that. What else I want to share with you? I had to turn off be safe for that holiday and I see. Oh, one thing I wanted to like also stress is, we're not just here to enjoy family and friends, but learn to take some time to enjoy yourself. And what I mean by that is, you know, look at this as a time where you get to enjoy being who you are, or enjoy, maybe displaying your gifts. Maybe you have cooking gifts as well, or creative, or your creative gifts. Maybe you're decorating during this time, or maybe you take a hour to get away and do some writing or something that you enjoy, crocheting, knitting, like whatever, or working on cars, or I've been watching a lot of sports lately, a lot of football lately, and so I've been kind of enjoying that, as a little bit of distraction. Just kind of hearing the the sportscasters talk about the games that happened, that took place yesterday, and that actually there's a game coming up in a few minutes. So Baltimore is playing. Um, so yeah, like just take some time. What I'm saying is, don't forget self. Just keep your the love of self at the forefront, you know, of this whole holiday season. It's really easy to get lost in everything, very easy, and there's no judgment again. But this is really just a reminder to not totally forget self, and to, yeah, just you know, enjoy this time. I don't know how else to say it. Enjoy this time, but just don't forget yourself. Don't forget caring for yourself. Don't forget maybe a little pampering of yourself. Don't forget, I don't know what men do. Maybe you take this time and, go to a shooting range, or play some golf, or, you know, I don't know, or just hide out in the man cave and just have your moment. Just whatever. I know we have to all engage. I know we have to all participate in the activities. We all have our part to play, to do, and things like that. I just want to throw that in there to, to enjoy yourself and give grace for others who are doing the same. Okay. Let's give some leverage to the people around us, um, who are taking time to care for themselves, whatever that might look like. And yeah, you might say something like, I don't know, it's been 10, 15 years, we haven't seen each other, and you want to go off alone. Let that person, give that person their little bit of space, and then say, hey, take a few minutes and then come on back. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of activities and things you all have going on anyway. You get card games, whatever, yeah, so as you're taking time out for yourself, or doing what it is you do it, and maybe you're a Leo, maybe you just like all of your love of self is like being around all that energy and soaking up all that energy. That's fine, but not everybody is a Leo. Hello? Not everybody is a Libra. I know Libra likes to engage with a lot of people as well, and other signs as well. So just remember that some people are natural introverts. Some people like me, like I fill up and I get along very well, and I am an absolute socialite. I'm a social butterfly, but I can get lost in it. And what I need to do is to step away and refill. I need to fill up again, recharge, some might say, and then get back out there. Okay. So if that's you too, if you like kind of get caught up in the excitement of things, and then you're extending a little too much, take some time, grab a beer. I'm not telling you to go drive with it or do whatever. Like, just take some time away and give yourself a few minutes to recharge before you get back out there, because a lot of time that's when we kind of, you know, end up like opening up conversations we shouldn't open up, or say something we shouldn't, because we're overextending ourselves. That's my point. These are just scenarios, a few scenarios. And I know you all are brilliant and smart and you know what to do in these situations and you got it. I get it. Okay. I'm just talking about those folks who don't. Okay. Those are the folks I'm talking to, not you smarties. Okay. Not people like, like me who have to be reminded of these things. I know you guys got it. You are socially savvy and have a high EQ. I get it. Okay. Absolutely not preaching to you. These are for whoever. And maybe you could use this and remind someone else around you. I don't know. Get some grace too if you haven't heard from someone in a while and they never call. I'm pretty sure we all have somebody like that. They just never call and they only talk to you when you call and they seem perfectly fine, but they never reach out to you. So, just whatever. If they decide to reach out, you know, just say whatever, like whatever's on your heart. I don't want to tell you what to say, right? Because maybe it is fated that you address this person, in some way. I don't know. Listen to your intuition, basically, is what I am saying. Listen to your intuition, all right? And do what's best for your highest good, all right? Make those decisions that are for your highest and best good. Listen to your intuition. Thing about Aquarius is I know, basically. Um, and when you know. And that's really just the bottom line. So, yeah, my whole thing again is just be safe, love yourself, love on the other people around you, because you all are with each other and filling each other up and, you know, um, you know, being a source of inspiration to one another. I know that there's some people who are maybe on a little bit of a critical side and they tend to be a little harsh or whatever. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself and, handle yourself, whatever. Um, I'm pretty sure your intuition will tell you the right thing to do in that moment. Okay. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact your intuition will. I know that for a fact. And so, yeah, just be mindful that, yeah, some things can come up that may not feel as good. But we're smart. We can handle it. Okay. To anyone out there who is feeling a little sad right now, I send love to you right now. A whole lot of love and energy to you. And may you be inspired and motivated to do whatever that makes you feel good, during this time. Get out if you're spending a little too much time alone, get out there. If nothing else, go and have lunch or dinner out or go to the movies or do something, right? Because the human interaction is so healing. It can be very healing. Okay. Um, and that's just like on a really positive side. A lot of humans are good, they are not everybody's out there to take advantage of people. People will tell you, oh ma'am, you dropped your purse or you dropped your dollar or you dropped, your purse is open or something, There's plenty of people out there. I think this is a time where we should procreate the energy that we want to see. This is a great time to, we want more love in the world, then send more love out into the world. You know, if we want more unity in the world, then be the catalyst in your space to do that. Send that manifestation, that intention out into the universe. Do these things. We are procreators. We are very powerful beings. And so we can procreate the world we want to live in. We are absolutely capable of that. We most certainly are. We absolutely are. And sometimes we have to go a little further or step out, like in the case for me, I had to go see the doctor today. I did not want to. I did not want to be bothered. I wanted to hunker down here and get work done. And it became very clear as the day went along that I absolutely had to go and see a medical professional, if nothing else, to make sure that this was all muscle pain that I was experiencing. And everybody, and you know what, there was a place closer to my home. And I said, okay, if I have to go, I'll go to that one. At the last minute, I was like, no, I generally don't get a good experience there. So I had to make the difficult and uncomfortable decision to drive all the way across town to another, urgent care place. And uh, it was worth it. I was greeted lovingly. My check-in was easy. My check-in was fast, and I like speed. I don't mean like I don't speed in terms of I like to get out on the road and just speed up. No, I just like efficiency. Let me put it that way, because whenever you say fast, it just triggers people, and So I like efficiency. So I walked in. The place was quiet. There was no breakouts of illnesses going on. The check-in was quick and easy. My, when you, I don't know what they call it, the when you check in with the person behind the desk, and they take your ID and all that good stuff. She was very kind and compassionate, and she worked very efficiently. And then as quickly as I sat down, tried to get settled in for a wait, they were calling me in the back already. And then the young gentleman was taking all my vitals, and he was so kind. I mean, I just met kindness after kindness. Even when I met the doctor, she was kind, and people were like, well, feel better. I'm sorry to hear this has occurred. I mean, I just could not have had a more pleasant experience. And yes, I had to drive all the way across town, and spend all this gas, but it was so worth it. I was so glad that the universe reminded me, hey, are you sure you want to go to this one? What about this one over here? What about this place over here? It's further out, but it's your choice. And I chose joy. I chose peace, you know, because it was worth it. And so what I'm saying is this was a situation where I guess in some sense I procreated the experience that I wanted to experience by making a difficult decision to do something for my highest and best good. And what I'm saying is you can do that as well. You can absolutely make these decisions as well. The one thing I learned with Pluto and Capricorn is don't do anything you're not enjoying. I know that's a simple thing, and it means nothing. And especially when it comes to your survival, you're like, I just have to do what I have to do. I may not enjoy it, but I just got to get this thing. No, do when you enjoy. You can find things. You can, when you set that mindset in motion, you know, things will come to you where you can still make a living, or still be creative, or still, have this relationship or whatever, and enjoy it. And enjoy it. And I'm not telling people, again, I have all these disclaimers because I feel like every time I say something, some disclaimer comes up in my mind. I'm not saying leave a relationship. I'm not saying walk away from your family. I'm not saying walk away from your friends. I'm not saying any of those things. If you are doing the work, you shadow work, you know what needs to be done. If you're not, I'm absolutely not giving you any advice except do the work. That's the only advice I can give you, you know? And I know a lot of times we operate out of intuition anyway. Most times we don't need to know astrology to know that, we're in some sort of Saturn return, or, we're in a flow as opposed to an ebb. You know what I'm saying? We intuitively know these things. We don't have to know astrology for it. It's just nice when you know the astrology. And plus, I enjoy astrology. And plus, it's in my chart. And plus, it's faded. So for me, I just get a double pleasure out of it. But you don't have to know it to make decisions. We are brilliant beings. And like I said, I do feel like most of our life is fated. I absolutely know that to be true in my life. And I know I'm not in the boat by myself on that one. A lot of our lives are fated. And you can disagree. I get that. So here's another disclaimer. I'm not telling you. I'm just saying this is from my perspective. I do know. I don't want to say I believe. Okay. I want to say I know that much of our lives are fated. There's very little room for us to make decisions and choices. There's some room, of course. I made a decision and choice today. Okay. I went to my go to. All right, we'll go to this urgent care or closer to home, makes it easy, blah, 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 right? I like efficiency. But, you know, thank God, like I said, I thank the universe. The universe said, oh, okay, but do you remember this one across town? Remember this one was recommended to you before? Remember that you had a good experience? Do you remember the experience you had with the one that's closest to you that you're about to go to? you know, do you want that fight? No, I don't want to fight. Okay, I'll take the hit and I'll go across town. And believe it or not, I was there in 15 minutes. Traffic was wide open, so I went at the perfect time. It just worked. So, yeah, I'm absolutely not. I just know that much of our lives are fated. It just is. There is room to make choices and decisions, yes, but much of our life is fated. And whether we take this road or that road or another road or go around a bend or we go straight down the line, listen, we're going to all end up in the same place that we are fated to be. And we can think we're making a beeline somewhere and we've taken a total detour. Ask me how I know. Trust me. That's one of the main reasons I know that my life was fated because I was like, listen, I'm not trying to go around the bend and down the road and have it take the scenic route. Let's just get there. I told you several times already tonight. I like efficiency. I work efficiently and I pretty much operate efficiently. I love efficiency, but that's not how life works. You don't, you don't get to learn the lessons through efficiency. That's, for lack of a better way of putting it, that's robotic. I do enjoy efficiency. I'm not going to lie to you. I just do. And most people who work with me, they love it too. This was quick. This was easy. This was to the point. I get to move on. Listen, there's nothing wrong with efficiency, but life is a little different. It takes us in these twists and turns and around the bend, all the things that I generally choose not to do. But there's lessons in it. Sometimes there's peace too. I had a very peaceful experience going to this place across town. And I'm so grateful the universe reminded me. I'm so grateful. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I apologize. I know I started off with the Pluto Saturn, thing. But I do that. That's what I do too. So, um, when I get a chance to really get some time, the reason I'm not on camera with the charts and things because I don't have the time. I don't. There's a lot that is going on, and the fact that yet another accident has been plopped on my plate. I have to manage the paperwork around that and manage all of the communications around that. That's just kind of taken a more out of me that I didn't have, honestly. I was already on E, if you will. I opted not to take off time from work, even though I desperately wanted to this week because I was feeling a little burned out. But I thought if I could just make it through to December, I'll get 2 weeks off. And that will be really, really good for me. So I hope that I didn't, sabotage myself because I very well could have taken Wednesday off, you know, um, taking this Wednesday off and definitely would have felt maybe a little less pressure about what I needed to do, things of that nature. But, you know, it is what it is. I chose the grind. See, I chose the grind. Someone gave me the option to take a few days, you know, to let up, to get some peace, take some time off. I chose the grind, you know, at least to delay delay my break. So maybe that was a bad decision. So again, we do have room to make choices and things of that nature. We do. And I question, should I do this? Am I going to regret this around Christmas time? Because that's right around my birthday time. And, you know, so that was me being efficient again. Efficiency is not always the best thing for me because I do it so darn well, you know, too well. And I forget that love comes around the bends and the detours and the scenic routes, things like that. Love is there as well. I'm not blaming myself. I'm just saying I made a decision, which looking back, I kind of wish maybe I should have taken this time. Okay. And I honestly could still do it. I still have the option to do it. So maybe I'll think about that and take the time and give myself, an extra day to heal or, to, get the muscles to relax out of my shoulder and things of that nature. But the point is, I just wanted to give you guys, just some food for thought. That's it. Just some simple food for thought for the holidays coming up. And if you don't celebrate, that's cool. Do what you would normally do around this time. I'm with you. Okay. I am with you. So be kind to yourself first. Love yourself first. Take time for yourself first. Okay. Now, some of you say, I got kids. I get that too. See, every time I make a statement, I come up with my own disclaimer. Take care of your children, but your children, once you do the basics and, get them squared away, you can steal some time away. One of the things, the best advice someone told me when I had my child many, many, many years ago, they said, when the baby naps, you nap. Because Miss Efficiency here was like, oh, the baby's napping. I can get some work done. I can get some laundry done. I could do this. I could do. They were like, no. And it drove me crazy because I could get stuff done. How can you get stuff done when the baby's up? That means you got to entertain the baby. When the baby's napping, that's my chance. They were like, when the baby naps, you nap. You nap right along with the baby. And I don't know how well that was how well that advice went for me. But you know what? I was okay with it. So I say that to say, when things slow down, maybe this is a good time for you to slow down. You know, you don't have to work as efficiently, okay, as I do. These are just reminders, things I just want to throw out there to you, you know, to let you know that I value you. I value your life. I value your existence. I value your energy. It is really, really good if you learn to value your own self, your own life, your own energy. And the more you value yourself, the more naturally others will value you. But you must do it for you only and not for others. Now, I love my babies. I love babies. So I love my babies. I love my doggies. Okay. And, I know I always extended for my baby and I extend for my dog who is like a baby. Okay. But even my dog, I have to say, no, that's enough. Stop. To let him know, listen, I've given you enough attention. It's time for me now. Okay. You've gone to the bathroom, you've eaten, I played with you, I've given you a treat, all the stuff. So, it's okay. And I'm not telling you to stay away from family. I'm absolutely not telling you that. I'm saying enjoy your family. You will enjoy your family and your friends and this holiday so much more when you amp up your enjoyment of yourself. Take that to a whole nother level and come back and tell me what that was like. That's your homework. All right. So, peace and love to everyone. Again, be safe, take care. Many, 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 many blessings, love, and beautiful golden energy to you. And remember, may your smile shine as bright as the star, i.e., Aquarius, that you are. I know all of y'all not Aquarius, but you're a star. Okay. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.